right, we're here, our 47th episode. We're here live at the UVU Intrasquad duel. It just finished a little bit ago. So we're going to get started. We're going to go through weight by weight, talk about the UVU Wrestling team, and kind of give our thoughts on each weight and predictions. So we're going to start right at 25. Tonight we have Will Edelblut and Josiah Nava wrestled. They went 1-1. Josiah won the first match. Edelblut won the second one by fall. Anyways, thoughts. 25, what do you guys think? How are we looking?
I don't think these are the two that will be the starters. I thought that Josiah got caught. I think he won, seemed pretty handedly in the first one. And I don't think that either of these guys will end up being the starter.
Who's going to be the starter?
I think it's going to come down to, for me, Ty Smith or Isaiah Delgado.
I don't see Isaiah getting down to 25. He's a good size.
Me neither.
Okay.
I could see Ty making it more than I could.
Where's Ty walking around? Anybody know? Like, does he cut much weight to 33?
Well, because of his illness, he was actually really light, right? So it was, I don't know all the details, but word on the street is that he's had to be gaining weight, right? And that once he started to gain weight, now he's a healthy 33-pounder, but I don't know, I don't even know the details of his medical condition, if that would even be
He might not be able to get even to 25 because of that health problem.
Right.
For me tonight,
So come on, Sean.
the question was answered tonight, though. How does he look? Other than just in the room rolling around. I thought he looked great.
Yeah, I agree. If Ty can make 25, he will be tough. He will be good.
Yeah.
And same with Delgado, but I don't think Delgado's going to.
That was the question that was answered, though. How does he look? He looked great.
Let's say Ty doesn't make 25. Isaiah, I think most of us in agreement that he doesn't make 25.
I don't think he hydrated for 25 anyway. I don't know that for sure either, but that's what I was told.
So let's say Edelblut and Malva are the guy. How we?
Well, obviously we need to have a third match. I don't know why they didn't have a third match. Could have, because they got Mavs out here. Let me finish it, dude.
That's true.
I don't understand.
But I mean, I think with one of those two starting, we're okay. We're not great, but we're okay.
I don't.
So what do you think?
I think we're gonna have tough winning very many matches that way this year.
When I say okay, I think it's
When you say okay, I'm thinking
we're not giving up heads.
I think both of these guys are probably mentally tough enough to scrap. Like when Delgado came into the lineup last year, what you knew you were going to get is somebody who was going to go try to score points and who wasn't going to be intimidated by anybody. I think either one of these two 25-pounders are going to scrap, and it hasn't been a plague the last two seasons, but prior to that, just the whole mentality of we're not good enough to beat the good teams was still kind of, at least 50% of the team was in there saying, hey, if I can just keep it close with the big schools, then I feel good about myself. I think these guys are scrappers. I don't think we're going to get pinned a lot. We're not going to give up major points. I think we might win some. With all the Olympic red shirts all across the country at both 25 and 33, we might sneak in. I'm not predicting either one of these two guys are good enough to qualify it through Big 12s, but you never know.
I would agree with you on most of those. I mean, I think either one they're going to scrap, and Nava seems a little bit more slick, I guess, or a little more just kind of gets in there and goes a little bit.
Yeah,
that's kind of the difference I saw between the two. But I think I agree. Ty Smith, if he gets down, is the guy. Did he certify at 25? Do we know that?
I don't know. I can't confirm that. But I do believe he can make 25, based on my understandings.
Well, my understandings are, I think those are the two guys who have 25, and that's it.
I think that's fair.
Okay. Well,
Coach Ethan.
We're going to pull in Coach Lofthouse here for a second.
We need to know if Ty certified weight-wise for 25, and if there's any chance that he might be going down. No chance. No.
There's always a chance.
Did he certify at 25?
So he hydrated.
Did he
always a
hydrate
chance.
at 25 though?
I think he did, but I don't know what the date would be.
Okay.
So there's a chance.
There's a chance,
Okay.
but
The debate
not a very big chance if coach is saying no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not a very big chance, but there's always a chance.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so we got that. 33.
All right, let's go 33.
Got
So-
Delgado.
Do you want me to
So
interpret?
if 33, then I
back to the
would
same.
assume Ty Smith's your 33.
Yeah.
Or Delgado. I mean, who starts? Why didn't they wrestle tonight? Do we have any?
I have no idea why they didn't wrestle tonight.
Another
That was the
match I
one
wanted to
match
see.
I
That's
wanted
the
to
one.
see.
That's the one. I came here for that match and for the best of 3 of the 125s.
Yeah.
They're not giving it to me.
That's
I
one.
mean,
of
this
the,
is supposed to be a fan-friendly event.
that's one of the matches I was actually waiting to watch.
No, I really
Yeah,
want to see
me
that
too.
match.
And I was disappointed it didn't happen tonight. So,
Now, I think that my interpretation of what Coach Lofthouse just said is
He's their 33.
is that Ty is going to be 33.
Yeah.
But if for whatever reason Delgado beats him, then my guess is that there's always a chance he'll probably drop. Right?
but I think Delgado and Ty would be a good match. And quite frankly, it'll probably happen this weekend, maybe at the Cowboy Open in Wyoming.
Are they both going?
I think so.
Have you seen the lineup, Sean?
I did, but I don't have it memorized. I know it's more than 20
Okay.
that they're sending. So
We're
it's
taking
large
4 vans.
chunk. Yeah.
So
Okay.
quite a few people are.
Anything else at 33 stick out?
We got. I mean, I thought Sam Elden didn't look bad for coming out as a true freshman. He lost to Delgado, and then he beat Chip Estrella, and then Ty Smith beat Chip Estrella as well. So, anyways, 33, Isaiah, Ty. Hopefully, it happens this weekend at Cowboy Open. But I think either way we'll be okay at 33.
Correct.
I don't know if we're going to get a qualifier there. I think possibly.
Yeah, but I think we have a 500 wrestler
At 33.
at 33
I do too.
to build on in the future too.
Yep.
I also believe that whether it's either one of those two guys at 33, sophomore season, again, a little bit thinner than a typical season because it's an Olympic shirt year, and I think that they will get better. These two guys are battlers. They both have the technical and the slickness. I think whichever one ends up showing up to Big 12s is going to have a pretty good chance. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, I think
seeing there.
Ty Smith pretty much spent a lot of his time as a youth wrestling in Utah.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people from Utah are fairly familiar with Ty Smith and his style of wrestling. I watched him wrestle a couple, Kohler and
Yep.
those guys growing up a lot. So it was a lot of fun. He's a tough kid. So.
When Ty Smith at Drexel as a freshman,
Yeah, it was 8
like 8-2.
2, 8
Yeah.
3.
Without, he's solid.
He's
Yeah.
battle tested.
Yes.
The only thing I'll finish with is, if you guys remember, Jason Tolbert was an okay wrestler at 33, but he was phenomenal at 25. So I don't rule out that slight chance if either of those two made 25.
That's phenomenal. Was he an All-American?
I mean, he was top 15.
He was, and he had been ranked in the top 10. At one time, he was the highest rank. He was higher ranked than Jade. So it's just
makes a big difference.
phenomenal difference. And I think it's the same thing. If there's that slight chance of either Delgado or Ty Smith making 25, a big difference in what happens.
Let's go to 41.
Okay. 41.
Because 41 is
Okay, another one. I'm not gonna lie, I was disappointed.
Yes.
We
Why
didn't
didn't
get to
we see that match?
Nick Reno versus Cameron. Nick's apparently hurt. I don't know how severe, or it's just keep him out, let him wrestle this weekend. Will he be wrestling this weekend? You know.
I don't think that he is. That was the one that most people want to see. I think that I'm very close to both of these guys. I like them both. I'm going to give the edge to Cam in the room and here. Even though Reno has got some pretty slick stuff, Cam I think is really looking good. Very impressive.
Cameron looked good today. I'll give him that. Like, he looked good against Dylan. what I liked about him was even on top when Dylan was about to get out, like he did not let Dylan get out. Like he fought. He didn't just like a lot of kids will just cut the guy,
cut him.
and he went back at him, didn't let him get out. And I like that fight about Cameron. He gets in there and fighting. I don't know how strong of a test it was tonight though. I'll keep judgment until after the Cowboy because I like his fight. I like how he didn't give anything, and so to me it shows promise at least.
I don't know the division that Cam will go in, but I really would like to see him in elite at Cowboy.
I hope so too.
Yeah, that's where he should go.
Do they have divisions up there?
Yes.
2 freshman division or
Yeah, it's kind of like beginners, junior college, freshmen, red shirts, and then all the studs
He
go
needs
up.
to be in the stud.
He needs to be up.
If he's going to be the varsity guy, he's got to be in the varsity. I mean,
My guess is that they'll put him in that event.
we'll see what happens. We didn't get our matches. we wanted to
My
see.
thoughts on Cameron, having 2 boys on the team, I get the inside opinions, right? They're not the coaches, but it's the opinions of their teammates. Who's doing the work, who's showing the confidence in the room, who's putting in the extra time. So word from the athletes is that Cameron Hunsaker is going to be the guy, and that he's going to be really good. The other word is that he's probably going to get worked in parterre, right? Now, what we saw tonight is that maybe that's not so true, right? Because Dylan got some varsity time last year, older, stronger. Cameron coming off a mission and to be able to perform. There were 2 things that I was impressed with because I was expecting to have him struggle on the mat and he didn't, right? Of course, Dylan's not the best on the mat, right? But where Dylan is good is hand fighting and moving guys. He's a Greco specialist. Cameron out-hand fought him tonight,
hand fighting was
and I love
phenomenal.
Dylan. I'm a huge Dylan fan. Everybody knows that. But Cameron dominated the hand fighting against a senior world team member Greco guy. Pretty impressive. So I guess what I'm saying is I'm trusting his peers on the team, the prediction that he's going to be a dominant wrestler. And you have to realize that he's never been through a Division I season. And he's already looking that good. If he can stay healthy, I think by the end of the year, he's one that possibly could quickly go up the rankings. And he's got the body style to have advantages there.
Well,
Dangerous.
I think Cameron's smartest move was he gray shirted after his mission, so he could get rid of those missionary legs. Now he still has a red shirt, so if an injury does happen or something doesn't quite go right, he still has that red shirt year. And you saw him without missionary legs. You saw a couple of the return missionaries.
That's right.
Those missionary legs kick in.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a huge advantage for Cameron to do that.
The biggest thing with Cameron, that's why I reserve judgment until after the Cowboys, the mental game. When he gets in a match, he's the underdog. He knows he's the underdog. Will he be able to step up and perform and win those matches, or will he win the ones he's supposed to win and lose one he's supposed to win, or can he make that jump? That's my biggest concern with him.
But that was Cameron's thing when we were kids.
That's what I'm saying. That's my biggest concern is he grows out of that.
So here's what I'm hoping, right? No predictions, but here's what I'm hoping. When you're coaching youth and you start them out in grade school, junior high, high school, college, and as a sports psychologist specialist coach, right, my job is to try to get them past their mental blocks. And with some kids, you get them past in middle school, some kids in grade school. Sometimes the mental blocks leave during high school, right? But sometimes wrestling for their entire career, right? And they never get past the mental blocks. So I hear what Jeff's saying, right? But I'm going to go back just to support Cameron. Cameron was a guy who wasn't super excited about wrestling all year round when he was younger. Didn't seem to really love the sport. Kind of got mentally broke in the tough matches. But there's no sign of that now.
No,
right?
I agree.
There's no sign
Absolutely.
of that. And he's mature. He's a returned missionary. He's a full-grown man. And I think that I don't think I'm reserving my predictions just because of what Jeff's saying. It's hard to know until he gets into the deep battles against the toughest guys what's going to happen.
Well, I think if Cameron can stay aggressive and not shrink to, oh, this guy's so and so. If he could just be aggressive the whole match, he's gonna find himself winning some matches that he probably didn't think he was going to.
And then again, he stays healthy. Reno stays healthy. Like we got some serious man fighting, and so we're gonna have some battles, right? It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
All right,
Hoping for the best. Where we at?
So 49, we got Finley and Knudsen.
Boy, that was a
drill match. Yeah, not the most exciting.
although Ben Kerr said it was really exciting.
Well, they did get the most cheers.
They did.
So I don't know if that's just the eye of the beholder here, but no.
Okay, so what do we?
Matt. Obviously Matt's the guy. We all know that.
Can he stay healthy?
That's the biggest question.
And if he doesn't stay healthy, who we got? Who's going to be his second?
Knudsen, right? He's the backup.
Yeah.
Obviously, if Matt goes down, then Endurance is going to kill the team, in my opinion. Matt's almost a for sure win and possibly bonus points. He has a great motor, but if he goes down, someone like Landon will go in there and he'll fight and battle, but it's definitely not the same.
Not the same level. When you look at the raw talent and ability, I think Knudsen is dangerous enough. But going back to the Cameron discussion, I love him, his family. I coached him since he was literally 5 years old. He's one that has been hard to get through the mental thing, right? And the reason why I'm not ashamed to say it here on live is because Landon knows what I think and he understands himself. But Landon broke through that in high school, and I believe if he can get his confidence up. If Matt goes down with injury and Landon can wrestle with confidence, he'll be competitive enough that he could upset some guys and he could do very well. And he's already proven that in some matches, right? He had some good varsity matches last year where he battled, and then he had some that he choked.
So really 49's what we're going to talk about.
Right, because we know Matt's the guy, and if Matt's healthy, that's it. We're great. And if
Matt's healthy, he could go as high as the finalists. He could win it. He could be top 8,
top 10 wrestler for sure.
He's good. He's good enough to end up anywhere right there.
And then just let the chips fall where they may at that point. But
I would expect UVU probably is going to hold him out a little bit this year.
I hope.
You'll conserve him and put him in when they need him, and when they don't, keep him out. So we may see him at a lot of home duels at least. I would expect, but maybe not. We'll see. Okay, 57. We had Spencer Haywood wrestled Jed Lovelace, and then we had Spencer Haywood wrestle Jerry Rubio, and Jerry Rubio wrestled Takana Foret. It's an easy one. Jed's our guy.
Jed's our guy.
And that's plain. Jed beat Spencer last year. He beat him again tonight. I think we'll be solid there, right?
He looked great.
NCAA qualifier? Yeah, nay.
At 57.
I would say yes.
I
would say yes. I'm
I'd
predicting
say
that he's
outside
in.
looking in, but has a chance. But I'd say it's gonna be tough. I think next year and the year after, right? I'd say absolutely for sure.
I think Jed's mature and he's strong. I think the fact that he's transferring in, he's getting some extra attention from the coaches. He's not down the lineup importance, right? Like he was at Wyoming. I think he's home with his family. I don't know. There's a lot of upside there. I think he's mature. I'm predicting that he'll be top 50% in the Big 12s.
Yeah.
However, you never know how many are going to qualify. But if it's
said.
one of those weeks that are,
I said he's going to be outside looking in with the possibility to sneak in.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be right there at the top of one of those for
Right.
sure automatics, but depending on, he could.
Yeah.
So you have another guy, Jerry Rubio. He looked okay tonight. Yep. He did well. Takana Foret and Jerry's match to me was one of the more exciting matches to watch.
A lot of scrambling.
Takana kind of ran out of gas. Couldn't finish, but to me at least, I think Kekana has ability. Like there's upside there, and with the scrambling he had, and you just gotta get a gas tank a little bit better.
Yep.
And Jerry, he's always had a good gas tank, but definitely Jeb's the guy.
Okay, can I just throw this one out? This is a question for Jeff. Is it how tough is it to be in the third spot on a college wrestling team?
That'd be tough. I mean, especially when the kids are younger than you.
I'm just throwing that out. No particular weight I'm talking about, but there's a couple weights where I know some of the kids in that third spot. I wonder how easy it to be motivated to continue wrestling with the team and not just see the light going. I'm probably never going to see the light of day.
I don't know. I think it depends on the program, and I think it depends on the athlete. I mean, I know you asked that question to Jeff, but there are, one of the distinguishing factors between college and high school is, or even like senior world team in college, is you've got more guys who believe in themselves. You got more guys who are just true warriors. You got more guys, and you got more guys that are injured, and more guys that have legitimate ability to say, I need to fix one thing, right? I need to be able to get away from bottom or whatever. And so I would hope that we have a few warriors on this team. And then you've got others who are thinking, that it's just like they have never learned that confidence that maybe they lacked in high school, even if they were the first guy. And I think it just depends on the athlete. I sure hope that the third stringers are warriors on this team.
Well, I think that's how you can build a program, though.
Yeah.
Look at Penn State.
I know.
I can think of a couple guys from Utah that just went out there, and they might be third, fourth stringers for a while. And can they hang on? And if they can hang on, good things could come.
Yeah.
Like you said, an injury comes, and they've been working hard. And that's how Penn State builds their programs, and Iowa and those big schools. I mean, they're able to keep kids around longer.
Yep.
Can UVU continue to do that? Because I know a lot of kids who's, they just leave. So.
In particular, with this recruiting class, we add some third string depth in ways we never have before. We start to get some real depth now.
All right, let's go to 65.
65.
We already know who the man is.
Demetrius is the guy, right?
Yeah, for sure.
How bad's he hurt? How long's he out?
ACL.
So so not a complete tear.
Doesn't matter. Well, then if it's not a complete tear, whoever told him not to do surgery and not do a complete tear, from everything I've heard, when Jordan released me, and I asked the doctor, he says even if it's loose, you want to get that surgically repaired. My brother's an orthopedic surgeon, so if he's not getting it surgically repaired, kids can Grant or Taylor wrestled on a torn ACL, so maybe he can still go, but as mentioned, he's going to have a surgically repaired.
Yeah, the bottom line is this. He has to make a decision in his senior year to take a medical red shirt, come back next year.
Correct.
Or wrestle half-baked like Taylor, Matt, Finley, Landon, a lot of guys, right?
Correct.
There's a ton of guys that tear their ACL and they wrestle through the season. There's NFL athletes, there's basketball players. Right? It's not uncommon to not do surgery, but it is extremely uncommon to be at your peak and be able to compete at the highest levels without a good ACL, because it's painful and it messes with your training, it messes with your weight cutting.
Yeah, well,
from everything I've been told, though, is he'll be fine. He'll be against Wisconsin. They'll have a full team. He'll be out there competing. That's what I've been told.
I hope so. Inside sources.
That would be good.
Inside sources.
If it's really not that bad, then
who knows?
That's good.
But I don't know that he'll compete before then. But I don't know. What do you hear, Sean?
I think the story of the year will be kind of like last year, where we lost to Air Force, and yet when we got to the NCAA tournament, in the Big 12s, we crushed them in points, even though we lost in a duel. I think that because of the injuries, because of the way it starts to look right now, I don't have really high hopes, and I think it's totally okay that we're not going to win the big duels. It didn't line up with we're going to come out and beat Wisconsin. We're going to come out, we lost in the last match in overtime against them. And I thought, we're really set up this year. No, we're not. We've got the right folks, but we're not going to win that duel. We're not going to win Iowa State. We're not going to. I just don't see it, but I do.
Jeez, Debbie.
But I feel very, very good. I feel very good about my chances once we get to the Big 12s and NCAAs.
Yeah, we just keep guys healthy. I think that's where.
Yeah.
It's a coaching.
I'd rather have that than.
So I'm okay with it.
It was exciting last year because first time we have a ranked team, we're beating top 10 teams really, and we're one match, we're one mistake, we're one call away from beating 3 more top 20 teams. And then, then we start dropping with injuries, and then but because we were so hungry to win those duels, I think it, in a way, kind of hurt us, right? Because then we're wearing guys out that maybe we should have been wrestling.
Sure. Yes, but I think just to set expectations, we're probably not going to go out and beat these guys we thought we'd line up with last year.
That's okay.
Right.
Doesn't bother me at all.
Doesn't me either. I just want to see some good matches of the kids that are out there competing and win our fair share, and we'll take it from there, right?
Even against Wisconsin,
We could still beat them.
I mean, we can win. 49
For sure.
I got to think through Wisconsin's lineup. Obviously, we're not winning 33. There's no chance. It's just gross there.
Yep.
57. I don't think we're out of it at 57. It's Wick, right?
Yeah,
But
we're
not
not out
the,
of it.
Not the 65 Wick.
Right.
They're different.
Different.
But then you got Kimball in there. You have.
Did they have 3 Wicks?
There's 3, but there's 2 twins.
Oh, and then he's the younger brother going there too, right?
I mean, heavyweights are going to have to win.
That's the one I want the
upper weights
most.
are going to have to win. 84, 97 heavyweight. I mean, those guys are going to have to come through.
We threw that guy to his back in the first 30 seconds. There's no way we lose that duel.
Right.
And we lost that.
We were watching it together.
Oh,
Well, right.
Over.
I mean, but that was the last match, so that was all the drama. But I mean, Grant's was the same way. I mean, right? He
Yeah.
lost with 1 second left or something.
Yeah.
He dominated the match, and not dominated, but he was winning the match until the very last minute. And so I think that there's. I think that we're going to be in those big duels, and I think, when we wrestled Rutgers last year, nobody in the wrestling world was predicting that we would beat them, and we beat them handily, and we almost beat their best guy.
Right.
I mean, well,
Until we went down.
Well, the other thing too,
till
you
the
gotta
third
think of
round
some of
we
the
got pinned.
other schools are going to have injuries too.
Well, that's that's my
going
point.
out to UVU, let's keep a couple guys back. So I mean, you're right. We could.
You're talking about 33, right? I mean, he missed all last year with an injury. Right. He's an awesome wrestler, but what are the odds that they're going to hold him out in a duel that isn't important to them any more than it is to us?
Yes.
So we'll be in those duels.
Okay, so let's talk about just real quick the other 65ers that we had.
So Coy, I would expect to start, or when Demetrius isn't in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Corbin, you can tell he's out of shape a little bit.
Yeah, but he looked.
Corbin fought well. He had decent position.
Corbin did well for just getting home from his mission.
Needs to get his gas tank back.
I think
there's a guy that I think
really push next year for the spot.
Division I, right, with a year of Division I experience, a red shirt, getting to these open tournaments and getting pounded in the room, getting in shape. I was impressed with him.
Yeah, that was.
You notice he had a really good shot. He could get in.
Yeah,
he just couldn't finish. He just couldn't finish, but that's okay. He's too fresh.
He looked good. Yeah.
Yeah, I was happy with him.
74. Got Kimball, and he didn't. I mean, the match again. We were all, I think, waiting for with Jacob Armstrong.
And I think what we heard from Jacob is they're just holding him out, just precautionary.
Yep.
So yeah, we were right. We did. That was the other match I was coming here to watch.
Beast.
So I lied earlier.
So
that
they're
was
holding him out. How long is he out for?
It sounded like if he really needed to go, he could go, but it's precautionary.
So not wrestling this weekend.
I doubt it.
I think it would be a mistake to wrestle this weekend. He doesn't need to prove anything to anybody.
Yeah.
But we all know what's going on in the room, and he is a beast.
Yes. The rumors are
in the room.
swirling.
Yes. Here's the cool thing, right? Because these guys are both from my club, and I love them both. And it's back in the heyday when I had like 7 or 8 of those guys, half of them on this team, all within. Oh yeah, of course, all within about 6 pounds of each other, right? And from the time they were in 7th grade to the time they were seniors in high school, it was just a bloodfest every day in practice. And they all loved that culture, right? And nobody ever backed down. The cool thing about Jacob and Kimball is that whoever ends up healthy enough or at the top of the ladder at the end of the season is going to be so much better than if either one of them was not. If they didn't have each other.
Yep.
And I love Tanner and the Orndorfs and all the 84-pounders, Gary and the rest of them. But
whoever loses that,
but whoever loses
74
is going to go up, and there's going to be a fight on their hands, right? Because both of those guys are big enough to carry 84, right? I mean, Kimball cuts a lot. Jacob isn't cutting quite as bit, but they're both big guys, and they can pack on muscle.
Well, from the rumor I heard, either one of them go up 84, have a pretty good chance of winning the spot.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would really. When you think about it,
You better have a pretty good gas tank if you're going to take Tanner to the
Orndorff.
third runner.
Tanner was getting his butt kicked the first little bit out here.
but when
We can go to 84 if we want to, because he was
Might
getting,
as well.
He was getting whooped. I was like, what? I thought he was supposed to be good.
and then he blew it out. But what you got to know is
and
Tanner's
then all of a sudden he came and just laid the hammer down.
he's going to go down as one of our greatest ones. We've only had one other 4-time NCAA qualifier.
Yep.
Tanner will be the second
Who
one.
was the one?
Jake. He's the only
Yeah.
other one. So he's going to go down as one of the great ones.
I totally agree.
And I don't know that either of them going up, with him coming down, he's still strong. He may not have given us his best look tonight. Tanner,
Well, it was a tech fall and a pin. Even though he got taken down in the first 10 seconds, that's his signature. He probably did that on purpose, just because he's so
Wasn't
used
he
to
losing
it.
6-5 at one point?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
I'm not
actually
counting
didn't
that.
watch. Every time I looked down, I looked up and looked at the scoreboard, and there was more points. I didn't see what happened, so I honestly can't even say what happened.
I don't have any worries. I think there's no way if Tanner's at 84, I don't see.
He's untouchable.
I just don't. I don't
No,
say that.
I'm not going to say. I think it's a 3-way dogfight. I
Yeah,
think
it's gonna be.
or it'll be a 2-way
Two-way.
dogfight. But whoever loses is going to move up. And I'm telling you right now, Tanner, after watching him against Ohio State 2 years in a row,
Kid's killing more.
be saved by a stupid rule and a strategic coaching call to, basically to rest. He had him dead to rights twice, one at NCAA's and once at Cliff Keen. Tanner's lost some thumb matches. He's got some weak points, but he's good enough to beat anybody, right? And that includes the guys in his own
Gotcha.
room. So I
Good
wouldn't,
insight.
I wouldn't ever count Tanner out. But I'm telling you right now, he's not a guaranteed in because he's got some pretty good studs at 74, and one of them's going to come up
So
and challenge.
here's my take on it. You have Kimball the senior. He's a 2-time qualifier. He's ranked top 50 in the country. You have Tanner, 3-time qualifier, senior, ranked top 50 in the country, or I guess in one poll. He's actually not ranked in a couple polls, which surprised me. But I don't see Jacob starting over either one. I think when it comes down to NCAA tournament time, the coaches will make the decision that Kimball and Tanner will be in. Because they're seniors, they've proven themselves. Unless Jacob can really
Thoroughly handle it.
Right, just
Who's
take
it,
it
65?
to him. I just don't see, and I'm not, and I just don't see it happening. I just don't see where the coaches are going to say, seniors, you're sitting, even though Jacob beat you by 1 point, you're going to sit for your senior.
Not
I don't
unheard
see
of.
it.
Chandler Rogers, multi-All-American,
Right, but-
and 165 last year.
What are you talking about?
Senior year, Oklahoma State.
Coach's son, though. I mean,
But he
there's-
lost.
Yeah, but
So-
and it was a terrible mistake. It was a terrible mistake by
It
Oklahoma
was.
State.
Yeah, I've often feared that scenario for us.
I just don't-
in these weight classes.
I just don't see the coaches doing that. Jacob, I think, for him to win the spot, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying for him to win the spot, he's going to have to show like he is
He's gonna have to really.
much better. Like it's not gonna. It can't be a 1 point wrestle off win in my mind. It's got to be more than that because Kimball and Tanner have proven themselves. They've proven that they can have the ability to be an All-American possibly. And unless Jacob can go and prove that, I don't see him getting started.
Yeah, I agree, and not again because I love all three of these guys equally. Like I don't really care which ones win or lose, but to argue against that point, Jeff, is that Kimball has had some blind spots through his entire wrestling career. and that is he takes the gas off sometimes. His matches are always close, right? That's really his only one blind spot or weakness. Now, can he fix that as a senior and be consistent with that, or is he going to stick with that after all these years, right? And Tanner has blind spot, right? He can't protect his own legs. Doesn't matter how many times he's been a qualifier, he can't protect his own legs. And so when he beats guys consistently that are ranked ahead of him, and then when the money comes at the NCAAs, they do the video review, they do the study, and they get into his legs, and he loses those close matches. And so if you've got a guy who's smart and solid and is winning in the room and is going to these open tournaments and placing higher, like the thing about Jacob is Jacob's super smart, and he's super mentally tough, and he's super strong, and he's athletic, and he knows what he's doing, right? So when you're talking about it'd be like Iowa State or Penn State, you know what I mean? Like if we're 3 deep at those two weights with guys that could all be All-Americans, if I were the coach, I wouldn't hesitate at all to put my best guy in. I don't care if he's a freshman or a senior.
I agree. I think, though, if he's going to all these tournaments and he's consistently placing above Tanner, and he's being in the room, I think he's proving he's much better. I'm saying, if he beats him in a wrestle-off by 1 point, tournaments, he might place third where Tanner places fourth. If they're close, I think the coaches in the end are going to get the nod to Tanner.
No, I agree with that. If it's like 50-50 and it's close,
Jacob's got to clearly show he's better. Tanner's got to show he's equal.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Wrestling does that because, like in other college sports, football. Let's take football. If you have a senior and a freshman and they're equal, you always go with the younger player. Right. Always. Yeah. I mean, the linebacker or anything, you always go with the younger player if they're equal. Now, if the senior or the upperclassman's better, obviously you go with him. But you always go with the younger because you're always building for the next thing, and the senior's done, right? Like you're not getting anything more out of him. Yeah. And if Jacob could get one more year of experience at the NCAAs as a was he going to be a freshman or sophomore? Freshman. So freshman, you get a freshman NCAA qualifier first time, and say he goes and makes some noise and wins a couple matches. That's huge coming back for his sophomore, junior, senior year, where Tate's gone. Like
Tanner.
Tanner. Sorry. That's what college football coaches are thinking. Well, I've got this quarterback, but I've got the freshman. Well, if I can get him to a bowl game and have him play in some games, then for my next 3 years, I'm going to have a great season, right?
Yeah.
So
I agree with you. I think if Jacob is better, he should start.
I say if they're equal.
I see it. I just don't know that I see it because my one thought would be Tanner is going for his fourth, but if Jacob doesn't have the opportunity to start, he can't get his fourth. He will never have the opportunity. So the coaches look at it. Tanner's going because he has a chance to become a second, four-time qualifier, and they're leading Jacob out. And the argument for Jacob is, look, you're not giving me the opportunity to be a four-time.
This is our fun job. We can be the guys. Yeah, which is perfect.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, it's a tough call. I wouldn't want to be the coach to make the call on that.
If I'm a coach and I'm trying to look for accolades, job security, and building the program,
you go for your younger guy.
I'm not going to say how many four-time qualifiers do I have. I'm going to say how many All-Americans do I have. Right. So you're going to put your best guy out.
So
whoever that is.
All right, let's go 97.
Let's go 97. We come back.
This is equally interesting.
This is interesting.
Well, I guess with what we're talking about a complete domino effect that could happen.
Well, yeah, because then
because Tanner could move up, or I don't know that Jacob could be a 97-pounder size-wise. I know he's been that big, but
I would say it would be harder for him. It would, in order for the domino to completely affect, is Tanner would have to, like you said, be beat by either Kimball or whoever, Jacob, whoever doesn't win that, and if he somehow beats Tanner, then I would see Tanner would go back to 97.
But can Tanner beat Jaden?
From what I heard, yes, but that's just what
I know that Jaden is very, very tough.
He is tough though,
and he looks really, really good. I'm very excited to watch him. I'd have to bet on Tanner still.
I think I've heard that there's like two predictive camps in the room, right? Both with athletes and even somewhat with the coaches, although they're a little more closed mouth. But the cool thing is again, we're talking about a UVU team that has gotten a little bit better every year, right? A little bit better every year, and I'm thinking, now we're finally getting some depth, and we're not just getting a tough guy backing up a possible All-American. Now we're getting guys who are saying we're too deep, right?
Yeah.
We're too deep in some
good.
weights where we could be an All-American even if our top guy goes out, or at least be a qualifier, and which is good. So 97 arguably. With a little bit of progress with Ashton, arguably we're 3 deep.
We missed another one in 97 tonight, though.
That's true.
I wished we could have seen Gary answer.
Okay, so let me ask you a
versus
question.
Is he
That's the
97 or is
question.
he 84?
He's 97 right now.
Gary's 97?
He's 97 right now. So he made weight at 97, but did it hurt? That was the one that was another big one we missed tonight.
Okay, who's going to be the starter then at 91, 97? I mean, if everything just stays as is right now, Tanner
Woodruff.
Woodruff will
So
be
is
your starter.
Gary
is.
not an 84 pounder anymore? Like, is he officially moved up?
Looks like he went up.
Well, as of this week, I can't tell you what my sources are pretty valid, is that nobody thought he was moving up, but he was so far overweight. There was some, I don't know if there's been a decision. All I know is he's big, and he's got a shoulder injury.
Shoulder?
That would be an interesting matchup, Gary and Jaden.
Mm-hmm. That's what I wanted to see tonight.
Gotcha. Yeah. All right, well,
Gary's
let's go
been
to
battle tested too.
Let's go to heavy.
So hold on.
Wait,
we're not
let's
done
go
with
back to 97.
So
Put it in reverse.
So Jaden goes undefeated last year as a redshirt, right?
Didn't know.
But whether he's wrestling tough guys or not, I haven't done the research. Maybe you guys have, but
He did not wrestle. He wasn't a tough guy.
but
Doesn't
I
wrestle what Gary has.
Right.
But I have watched him wrestle in Intrasquad, and I've been in the room, and I know he can battle with Tanner. I think, like you, I think Tanner's the guy. But I also
Tanner, 97.
or
84.
no.
If you win up.
If he went
No,
up.
yeah. If we were saying all
Okay,
things equal, and they're
yes,
both
yes.
97 pounders, I think that okay, I'll share with you one source, right? This comes right from Tanner's mouth, right? This is Tanner saying he's good enough to be an All-American. He's as good as I am, right? Not in a trying to be Woodruff, right? Not trying to say, oh, I'm afraid of him, I'm going down, because that's not Tanner's mentality. That has nothing to do with that. He's going down because he thinks it's best for the team. But I will tell you this, is that Tanner believes 100% that he's good enough to be an All-American, and he also believes that Jaden is, and they wrestle all the time. So I'm assuming that match is really close in live, right? That they drill together, they're supportive of one another. And if it comes down to a battle, it's probably going to come down to a technique, style, can Jaden hang with
Savvy.
Tanner's conditioning and his relentlessness and mental toughness, and can Tanner learn to beat that length and that, he's got some slick moves that are just like they pay.
These are great problems to have.
Great problems
for
to
a
have.
team.
Yeah.
Anyway, two great young men, and I just want to hats off to Ashton, right, who for the grace of maybe 2 inches and a little bit of overzealousness, right, was possibly a 6-point swing or a pin today in that scramble, right. And I've watched him fill in a few times and wrestle against varsity competition last year. He's getting a lot better.
He had some great ones last year.
If he can fix his footwork, like, he would be an excellent Division I wrestler. But he's got to fix his feet. You watched it tonight, right? So, anyway.
Okay,
Heavyweights.
Well,
It's easy.
Tate. And then the Ginger Ninja's injured, whatever that is.
Yeah.
He'll be a solid backup, though.
No, he will be.
He'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't you think, Truss? Huh?
He's good.
Stockton says Truss is good.
He's good.
So now, NCAA qualifiers. How many we get this year?
5.
What's your
What's
prediction?
my prediction? Let me think.
Be honest,
I'm
Jeff.
going to be honest, 100%. Let's see.
I might have to move mine back to 4 because I forgot Taylor's taking a.
No, I'm going 5.
I'm going 4 then.
I'll go 5.
You're going 4. You're going 5. What do you think?
I'm going 6.
You're like me. You're an optimist.
I'm the
So name your 6.
the eternal optimist.
Name your 6.
Finley, Demetrius, Tanner, 97, Tate,
Kimball.
Did I get Kimball? And Kimball. Yeah, 74, 65, basically 65 up in Finley.
49.
How many are you going?
I'm going 6, but I'm predicting that one of our top guys is going to be injured based on statistics. I don't know which one. I'm gonna predict that at
Grant.
57 or 33 that we're gonna have an upset. Like when I look at statistics and just think about every once in a while Big 12s you'll get these weights where you're qualifying 6 guys in one weight and it's not even that tough of a weight and we've got guys like all you need is like one pin, like one good match, like one string of events, and it just seems like the Big 12s we haven't had a lot of those, and we've had some that have been close. So,
So
I think
how many are we going?
I'm going with 6.
6.
2 6s and 2 5s. All right.
No, I got
No,
a
he
4.
went to 4.
I'm going 4.
Okay.
Well, we've got a maybe
If
Demetrius
I
ACL.
got it.
If Finley could,
Finley.
and then
That's what
and
I'm
then
saying.
we got Grant or Taylor on a Olympic, so I'm going Tate,
97, 84.
84, and I'm
74.
gonna have an Armstrong in there somewhere.
So you're basically saying
Finley and Demetrius are
the
gonna
top.
get hurt.
You're saying the top 4 weights
So
are
one
in.
of those 2 is not gonna make it.
So you'll take one of those 2.
That's still 5.
Yeah, that's still 5.
Okay, I'm still going 4 because there's going to be something else that's going to
Something
happen.
else is gonna
This
happen.
always does. So I'm just I'm playing statistics.
No, I know. So this is the prediction, right?
This will be fun
If you
to do
look
at
back,
end of the year
if
wrap-up.
the back is the predictor of the future, you're right to go 4 because something's going to happen. And it's going to be
Correct.
bad.
I
But I'm an optimist, and
I'm a
everything
realist.
is
I'm a
always
realist.
the bad stuff has happened the last 2 or 3 years. This is the year that something good's going to happen.
I hope so. I
And-
hope I'm wrong. I hope
But
you guys.
somebody
are,
else
I
is
hope
gonna
you're
get
wrong
hurt.
too, and there's 7.
If
So do I.
it goes right,
Fine, yeah.
if things go right, literally 7 or 8, they could get it.
Yeah.
Like and
Yeah.
if Ty Smith goes down 25,
Oh,
you
then
could see.
then
I
we
could see
could-
10,
yeah.
maybe. I mean, if everything went perfect, right? You know, but obviously, I'm
Well,
a
we could've-
realist. You're
we-
the optimist. You're the
know.
pessimist. So
well, why
could've-
am I the
I
pessimist?
go 5.
We
I have
could've-
history on my side, dude. That's
could've-
called real.
We honestly we could have had 10 last year, right? If things would have
Not at
right.
125.
No, Mitch Brown.
Oh yeah, Mitch Brown. sorry.
So
For
close.
sure. Like he was
so close.
he was 1 second away from qualifying. Right? So yeah,
Okay.
we
Could
were
have and should have.
Okay, All
I know.
Americans. How many All Americans?
Let's start with
Start with you. Let's start with the optimist this time. Let's go the opposite way.
All right, so here's
Let's
the
recap
here's
history
Oh,
so
boy.
people know history.
yeah history.
2.
We have 2 total,
None in the last 3 years.
and we had that one decent team where we had 3. Didn't we have 3 qualifiers back there with?
Josh Wilson,
Yeah,
that group.
Yeah.
Josh, Chasen, and Jade. Oh, and you also got in
Last year?
Derek
No.
Thomas his last year.
yeah.
Let's just hear your
no,
prediction.
Anyway, here's the prediction. It's Division I wrestling. It's tough. It's a tough ball game. We're still a beginning program, right? We don't have a ton of depth, although we're finally getting some depth in 2 or 3 weights. We've got guys that are injury prone, right? Historically, Matt Finley to be the most blatant one, and then some guys on the sidelines, right? Grant. But here's what we got.
I'm not in the discussion this year.
Anyway,
Just throwing it out there.
because I'm emotionally invested in the team because I love the guys and I know the potential
Don't say 5.
that we could
Say it.
get all these guys, but my legitimate statistical prediction,
With money.
which I think would be that I'd be willing to like battle for, and I think it would advance the program to that next level. I'm going to predict 2, which is our new record.
I mean, that would double what we've ever
double
had in history.
double what we had in history, and that's given some leeway, because here's who I think. I think Tate. I think 97. I think 84. I think 74. I think 65. I think 40. All of those guys, legitimately, they don't have the statistical consistency to get the attention of the ranking folks to be top 8,
Which
top
hurts.
6, top 4. But I'm telling you, they all have the respect, and they have the respect of the opposing coaches, and they're all good enough. Like right now, with the parity of Division I wrestling, with the exception of every once in a while when you get a Bo Nickel or whoever it is, right? Like in most of those weights, any of the top 12 guys could be in the finals, right? In some of those weights, it's just that equal, and we're in weights like that at 74, at 65, 84, 70, 97 at a heavy. Those are weights that aren't dominated by 4 or 5 super studs, where you've got to not just hope to have a good match, but you either have to upset a megastar, or you've got to have a perfect tournament and hope somebody gets hurt or whatever, right? Like none of those
get a good draw on the backside.
Yeah,
to
none of
come
those,
through.
and it's an Olympic redshirt year, right? So
Yeah.
I think that a lot of those megastuds aren't even in the lineups, and so
still brutal.
it's still brutal. Yeah, you could take 8
Okay.
guys out of 33, and it's still brutal. But yeah.
What?
Yep. 3. I'm going with 3.
Wow. Who
Yep.
are they?
Finley. I'm giving it to him.
Okay.
Demetrius.
Okay.
I think he goes into overtime. He doesn't drop it. And with those two, I will parlay Kimball or Tanner or Tate.
Tate.
So I get 3.
Yeah, see, that's
3
right.
horses.
Right. Given if Demetrius and Finley are in shape and healthy,
They both all.
then I'm going with 4.
Okay.
But
That's
But
what,
that's
that's
an
what
if.
Jeff called me earlier and said he
Right.
was picking 4. So
All right, Jeff. Are you what are you going with?
So here, I think legit right now, Demetrius and Matt, if they're healthy, they can both All-American. Like looking at the rankings, like they will All-American. But I'm not going to say 2 because I don't think they'll both go through healthy. I think if they both, depending on how Demetrius' knee is, I mean Finley's going to get hurt. It's not a question of when or if he's going to, most likely. And so I say 1.
You're going with 1.
I say between the two of them, one of them is healthy enough to get through. Because I think if they're both healthy, they both All-American. Like I'm looking at the rankings, I mean, look at 65. I mean, I think there's probably 4 or 5 guys Demetrius would really struggle with. Outside of those, I think he can be pretty much off. And Finley the same way. I think Finley can win it all if he's healthy.
Yeah.
But I think one of them stays healthy and one of them gets in. I think Orendorff at heavyweight's deep this year.
It is.
I just
It's
think
deep.
that's going to be hard for him to get through with how deep it is.
I believe that Tate is bigger, stronger, smarter. He's always been smarter, and I think his maturity. It is loaded, but I would consider him at the top of that game.
His dad's an NCAA finalist.
Yeah,
I'm going to give it to him.
self-confidence.
I hope so.
He's got the genetics. All right,
It's
let's hear
I'm
it.
going 1.
1. Who
Yep.
is it?
Yeah, I'm going Matt.
Taking Finley.
I think Matt's
Okay.
going to do it this year. I
Okay.
think he's going to stay healthy this year.
So you're looking at
I
flow
think he's going to
rankings.
hopefully be smart, and the coaches are smart. And, I don't want him to see him drilling out here, doing stuff like that. That's ridiculous. I just think he needs to just get that knee better. I don't even care if he wrestles against Wisconsin. Like, that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me ultimately,
Is the
and like
end
what
there.
you said earlier, what coaches should be judged on, we're to the point now at UVU, if we're not producing at least one All-American, every year, 2,
Yeah.
maybe have 1 year off and then come back with another 1 or
Right.
2. I think we're to that point now that if we don't get an All-American pretty much every year, I think we're not going in the right direction. Nobody stays the same. You either get better or worse. And so I think we consider it would be a down if we don't get one this year. It would be a huge downer for me on the program.
Yeah. What's the okay? So we got 1,
4, and 7. You
I said
4.
I said 2, but 4 if we have those 2 guys healthy.
Okay.
And but they'd have to both be healthy.
Mine was 3, right?
And yours was 3.
I took my 2 and one of the any
So
of the
yes.
others.
okay, so last question before we close up, at least for me. Who surprised? Who were the guys tonight? I know it's an inter-squad duel, so it doesn't really show a lot.
Right.
But what names did we have no clue that were good, that were impressive tonight? There was one that stood out. I just want to know what you guys are thinking. For me, that
Don't say it.
I'm not going to say it. I want to know what you guys
For me?
think. Was there anybody that surprised you tonight that wasn't one of the big names, that wasn't kind of, that really impressed?
For me, the bright star tonight, watching that hand fighting, I was so impressed. I can't wait to watch Hunsaker go.
Hunsaker.
As hard as he can. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my bright star.
I would agree. I think Hunsaker looked good. And I know Kit kind of lost, but I enjoyed watching him. If he can get some
Chip.
if he can get more endurance, I think he'll be good. Took my sheet from me.
Sorry.
So I think I'm excited to see if Kakana can get better. Ty looked good. And for me, those were probably... Sam Edelblut didn't look bad either. So
I didn't. That's another one. I just can't wait to watch.
Ty, yeah, I'm excited to watch
Huge
Ty.
bright star for that.
Okay, so who is
Mine's Jed Lovelace.
Jed Lovelace with exciting? Yeah.
Well, I just think of a guy that maybe has a chance to break through and get qualified for the NCAAs and continue,
progress,
maybe progress. And so maybe, his next junior and senior year, we can more expect him to be hopefully pushing for a podium spot.
Yeah.
But I really was impressed with Jed tonight. I think he's going to be really good for the program.
Okay, so who is Brig Hoops, and who was impressed with him, and where's he been, and why did he just not dominate, or was
I
he?
actually didn't get to see his match.
Was Josh Tolentino?
Hoops dominated.
He dominated him, and he looked good and solid. Like his decisions were good.
He did.
His conditioning was good.
He gray shirted last year.
But Hoops is the
Return
who's the
missionary.
one from
He's
what?
a return missionary.
Return missionary.
Star Valley. Hoops is the one from Star Valley.
From Star Valley, return missionary.
And you went to Lutheran.
Says he's a
Why
sophomore
is he a
here.
sophomore then?
So did he wrestle junior college before his mission? Does anybody
Why is he
know?
sophomore?
You have no idea? That was my question. Is I know all the other guys, impressed all these other guys. I have no idea who this guy is. He comes in and just tears it up
Well, the Hoops,
and look good.
Star Valley, Wyoming. They come to Utah quite a bit. They used to.
He's got a brother
Well,
that
I-
wrestles at Penn State.
Does he?
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
Like, so is he a diamond in the rough on this UVU team?
He could be.
I'm talking to
He looks
3
good.
guys that all look clueless. As the
I know him because Stockton's been wrestling him
I
at the
didn't
RTC,
watch
so
his
I
match
know
tonight, so I can't say.
I've heard of him.
Okay.
So I do
right.
know of him. So don't give me the deer in the headlights.
You were just weren't saying anything. Okay. All right. Anyway, go Wolverines. Hopefully I didn't offend
Great night. It was a
anybody.
good turnout.
It was
We
a
had
great
quite a
turnout.
few fans.
Yeah.
Man, it was
For
walking
green and
around
black?
feeling like I
Wow.
was just at like a weekend
Yeah.
tournament, man. There was everybody here.
Yep.
We could have had kids out here wrestling. It would have been fun. So.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
We're done.
We'll be back in a couple weeks with more.
How'd we do?
You guys talked too much.
Like a fat old